The Stand Comedy Club podcast is sponsored by West Brewery. Hey guys, Fraser and Lottie here from the Stand Comedy Club podcast. Say hi, Lottie.
Hello.
We are just doing a quick intro. This week we have the incredible Rosco McClelland, who is the just recently crowned 2025 Billy Connolly Spirit of Glasgow Comedy Award winner. Woo! Big claps, well done, Rosco. This is a belter, this one, I have to say. I think my jaw was hurting when we did this. But I would say, and we don't usually do this, but probably, I don't know, parental advisory, certainly strong language advisory on this one. But you know, it's class. So, enjoy.
Enjoy.
Well, look about, ooh-wee.
I used to watch the X-Files all the time, but I never finished it. I'll go back to it at some point.
What you mean? Oh, you mean like an episode of the full series?
I watched like maybe 4 series.
I guess after a while you're like,
It's like the same
I
thing.
get
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
They make two films.
Yeah.
Is Billy Connolly not the villain in one of the films?
Billy Connolly?
Is he?
That might be horseshit. Sean, do you look up? I'm pretty sure Billy Connolly is the villain, and it's like, it's not even about aliens anymore. I'm sure that there's the film, this could be absolute bollocks, but I'm pretty sure like the first or second X-Files film is Billy Connolly playing some sort of like religious cult leader or something.
It's me!
I've got my big
Hang
banana
on, wait a
shoes.
second. Father Joseph Christmas.
Guzman.
Chrisman. So he's like a cult leader. It's nothing to do with like aliens in that.
Is he Scottish in it? Oh.
He can't know.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say.
Aliens.
The wee grey aliens.
Alien.
Look at that UFO. Somebody made that.
Wait, guys. Roscoe's here.
Oh, yeah.
I could do Billy Connolly jokes for like 2 hours without even really
I'm
starting.
enjoying Billy Connolly on the X-Files. It's quite good.
My
Have
God.
you seen Muppets Treasure Island? Because he's in that.
Do you know?
The black spot.
Yeah.
I've only seen one wee bit of Muppets Treasure Island, and I love it. It's the bit where so I was like, I've got cabin fever, and the guy goes, I've got it too. I fucking love that. That's the only bit I really need to see.
No, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's such a good film. I absolutely love. Oh my God. I feel like
about
it's.
the Muppets all the time.
Yeah, I
on this
think that's
podcast.
like an episodely occurrence.
If that's a crime,
It's not.
good. I'm big fan of the Muppets.
Did you know it was just announced, as in like a week or two ago, that the Muppets 3D or Muppet Vision, which is the final thing ever directed by Jim Henson before he died,
Yeah.
which is like a ride experience at Disneyland.
Oh.
So you go in. I remember going when I was like 6 years old, so a long time ago. You go in and it's like you're in a big sort of theater, and it's all like you watch a film with 3D glasses,
and
and the
things
Muppets
come-
are all
okay.
3D, but there's
Yeah.
also like animatronics and stuff,
and
like
the stuff spray at you.
and things happen. It's like 4D shit happens, and it is fantastic. Well, they are closing it.
Oh,
And
no.
it's like, but it's sad because it's like the last thing Jim Henson ever actually did before he died. But instead, what they're doing is they're retheming the Rock and Roller Coaster from Aerosmith to the Muppets. So now it's going to be like, what's this?
God.
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem are going to be the theming of the Rock and Roller Coaster.
So many words
That
are happening,
rips.
and I don't know what is being said.
Well, the big fans will get it. Any questions?
Can we please go?
I would
Can we
love
do
to
a
trip.
podcast trip?
See if we don't do.
Roscoe can
If
do
we-
it.
A live podcast from their
On-
new
on the
Rocky
roller
Rock and Roller
coaster.
Coaster.
Oh my fucking God. That's the best day of my life.
The
It's not
internet's in
even
an uproar about it because they're all
Wow.
very sad that Jim
Yeah.
Henson's final thing is gone. Because he still voices Kermit the Frog in it and stuff like that. And it's,
Can you not
Yeah.
just keep it or put it
put
somewhere
it in a
else?
museum or something.
Yeah.
Put it in a museum.
Yeah.
That was me being Indiana Jones.
Could I unload a fact on you right
Yes, please
now
do.
that might blow your minds?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I was one of the people who were on the first ever public test ride of the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Shut up.
Wow. In America?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I was on a holiday. All my family had went on a big holiday to America, and we were walking through that park, and they were like, "Hey guys, we're gonna test out this new roller coaster. Would you like to be the first people on it?" And I guess my family were like, "Yeah," and I was like, "This rips." It was really good. Yeah.
That is so sick.
So
I've
there's
never
a
been on
fact.
it. Is it like, it was Aerosmith, or still is Aerosmith, I think. So like, do you just
You
like
can
listen
choose.
to it?
Yeah.
You can.
It was
Choose.
Aerosmith. They
Oh,
were like,
really?
it was like, "Hey, it's me, Steven Tyler." "Hey, it's me, Tom Stain."
I was going to say you sound like Tom.
I got no idea why I'm in this roller coaster, Roscoe, but me and True just wandered in here, and I'm a third, and
good.
everything's crazy. So
Your impressions are spot
oh my
on.
God.
I'm really good at stage. Sometimes if I'm like talking to him and I realise I'm now talking back to him in his voice, I'm like, oh, sorry, man. But he said so many mad things to me. Like one time I'm in some bar late in at like 4:30 in the morning and the Edinburgh Fringe and Stade rocks in at that point. I'm like, it's too late to be coming
Arriving.
into a place. Yeah, but here we are. Hey, Rosco, this is my friend Dynamo. You know, I think I'm like a level 57 high elf. So what does that make you, Rosco? And I'm like, I'll see you later, Tom. I'm not having this conversation.
He's amazing.
Unbelievable, Tom Stevens. Close your eyes, it's like he's here.
I'm pretty sure. Sorry to take it back to roller coasters,
Fine.
but I'm pretty sure I went on that roller coaster and you could choose the song.
Oh,
Is
You
it song
had.
like playing while you go around?
When
Do
you
you
do
wear
go
headphones?
over the so when you sit in it, it's
little
like
speakers
the
next to you.
speakers
Oh,
either
right.
side. So as you
But
go
was
over
it
the
all
drop,
Aerosmith songs?
no. So what?
And
the
they
one
don't
that-
stop believing.
No, Aerosmith
No.
are like
That's Journey.
their most famous song is the theme from Armageddon.
don't want to close my eyes.
I was a dude looks like a lady.
Also, doing this like a lady.
Love it, love
Living it up when you're going down.
Or a pink it was love at first sight. They've actually got quite a good.
They did that one with Run
background.
DMC, Walk This Way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's them.
Well, they're not Run
Stop
DMC.
this way.
They're the ones. It's yeah.
this way.
Liv Tyler, the actress, her dad is the lead singer, Steve Tyler.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, have you ever seen what the hell is Liv Tyler in?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah,
Who?
she's the elf lady.
She's the other woman that's not.
Galadriel. Galadriel?
Yeah, she's no, because Galadriel's the other woman. She's the other one. Arwen. Do you know there's a thing that you can watch? There's like a little clip on like YouTube or something, and it's like it's prefaced with here's a clip in. Here's all the footage from Lord of the Rings trilogy where two women talk to each other.
And it's like
then
1
it
minute.
comes on, and it's it's like a cutaway in a bar of a little girl talking to her mum, saying like, "What's for tea, mother?" And then it's the end. That's the entire thing. It's the only bit in the whole film where two women talk to each other. It's so. I mean, it's good but terrible.
That,
but,
do you know what? That's great. Fucking, I'm going to do that New Zealand Comedy Festival, and I'm going to tell them about that.
Nice.
Or remind them about that.
Nice. Wow.
Is that way
bro,
too
so
big?
you don't like women talking to each other, bro?
That wasn't a good accent.
That was
South Africa.
No, that was actually I believe it was a Polynesian islander.
Okay,
actually.
fair.
Okay, sorry.
Fair, fair,
So,
fair.
Me,
so
pardon me.
yeah, so maybe now this podcast is actually cancelled. So
You just come on podcasts to cancel them and then
this is what I do,
Yeah.
and then I'll be the only podcast around and in town, just me talking about boilers for half an hour. That's the only podcast there is.
When is the New Zealand Comedy Festival? Is it before or after? Is it like
fuck
in
knows.
line with the Australian ones?
It's in. Well, I've sort of fucked it, right? Because I'm going to Perth, and I don't really want to. What happened was my wife was like, "Oh, I'd like to go out to Perth to go to Rottnest Island to see the wee quokka."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, well, someone's asking me about it. I'll get the ball rolling." And then after the ball was like rolling too hard to stop, she was like, "I can't afford it." And I was like, "Well, no, I don't actually want to be there." I was trying. Oh fuck, man! So I'm doing that, coming back for a month, and then or like a month and a half, and then it was Glasgow Comedy Festival, and then May I'll be away for like May to
Damn.
New Zealand.
That's big flights
Yeah.
to do so close together.
Yeah, it's gonna be shit.
Have you done these before? Have you been out there before for anything?
Yeah, I've done those kind of flights before. The first time I went, I was with Chris MacArthur Boyd, and we nearly missed our connecting flight from Dubai because he was eating spaghetti and meatballs at what really would have been 4 a.m. our time.
That's too early for spaghetti meatballs.
He was eating spaghetti meatballs in an Irish bar restaurant in Dubai airport, and I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you, man? Do you know?
that's mad.
Yeah.
That's mental.
I was with him yesterday, and I told him that spaghetti meatballs has to be a past 5 p.m.
Definitely.
meal.
Yeah.
But before 4 a.m. What time did you say he was eating the meatballs
Yeah,
at?
It was
between-
technically 4 a.m.
like,
for
Right,
us.
so what's the meatball window?
5 and like 1 a.m.
What
maybe?
is the meatball window?
I'd say 5 and 9.
Yeah, I would say 5 and 9 as well.
But like,
Yeah.
what if you'd been on a night out and you came home and there was some left over?
If you eat
canny.
a cold meatball,
No.
maybe one meatball would be fine. But you're not eating a whole dinner.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Who's making a full spaghetti dinner when they're coming home drunk? Sean?
Yes.
Apparently that's a Sean thing.
Yes, man. Because it's more of it's a barometer to how your life's going at that point. I think if between 5 and 9 spaghetti meatballs,
You've got it together.
It's perfectly fine. Any other times, like fucking hell, somebody
Yeah.
check in on your mates.
Yeah, check it. Yeah, we do a welfare check.
Oh,
So
God.
what's the worst flight you've ever been on?
Oh, there was one. Just in terms of there was two actually. One of them was just like turbulence, and it was coming back from our honeymoon, and the turbulence was that bad. I was like, I know exactly what this is, and I know we're fine, but I'm just gonna, like the two old people in the Titanic, I'm just gonna hold on to my wife silently, just in case we go down.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, but I was like, well, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna take you with me. I can't.
Yeah, okay, that's sweet.
Was she scared?
I don't remember. I just remember being like, we're doing a lot of bumping and we're over a lot of water in the middle of nowhere. And
Is it true that no one's ever survived a plane crash on water?
No,
Absolute nonsense. There's a whole film called Sully,
Yeah.
starring Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
About landing a plane on the Hudson River in New York.
oh yeah,
So
that's a whole
so
fact.
therefore it's true. What do you mean?
it's based on a true story.
Oh, right, okay.
It actually happened.
Yeah.
But also a river is different from the sea.
You said water.
Okay, the sea then. The ocean.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if a plane crashed in this, do you know? I watched an episode of Airline. Remember that? And it was just like people trying to get on like EasyJet flights, and they're like, "You're
Oh, that.
fucking
Oh,
fine."
yeah,
we're like,
yeah.
Gary has forgotten his passport. And it's like, I want to get on this plane. It's like, you can't go on my passport. It's like, Gary's very mad. And it's like,
It's great.
That's what I think.
There was a guy trying to go on a plane with a parachute because he was going to somewhere to do parachute jumps, and they were like,
sorry, okay, right.
yeah, but they were like, I don't know about this. Don't know about getting on a plane with a parachute. I'm like, well, surely everybody should be on a plane with a parachute.
Everyone should that should be like hand luggage plus
It
parachute.
feels
Yeah.
like that one of the natural habitats
Yeah.
of the parachute
Yeah,
is
yeah,
on
yeah.
an airplane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why are you giving me this like stupid wee mask that comes down? Just give me a fucking parachute. I just want a just go.
And a
Oh, the plane's
tramadol.
fucked. We all better get out.
Open the door right there
Yeah,
and
it
then.
makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Everybody should have a parachute.
Yeah.
Why is this not a thing?
And the thing at the front should be how to release the parachute, like the safety instructions.
Do you know what it'll be, right? Do you know what it'll fucking be, right? And this is
Big parachute.
do you
It's
know
big parachute.
Yeah.
They've got their
it's
fingers on
big
this.
plane.
Big plane. Oh shit! It goes higher.
If the plane crashes, they want you to die, so you can't sue them for the plane crashing. If the plane crashes, they don't want you getting out, and everybody's like, "Oh, the plane's crashed, but I'm fine. Give me fucking £1 million." It's big plane.
That is-
cunts.
Yeah,
man.
that's
That is
actually.
true.
I buy that.
Because if
Yeah.
the plane crashes and everyone survives, then Tom Hanks is going to play you in the movie, and no one wants that.
Yeah, and the movie's just going to be mostly him floating down for about 10,000 feet. Going,
Yeah.
I don't really know how to drive this parachute.
How long would it take? How long does it take to fall in a parachute?
I think you don't release the parachute straight away.
Yeah.
You free fall for a bit.
Yeah.
I would be
then
doing
you-
it straight away.
I don't think that's
I
good
don't think you're
parachute
allowed.
practice. I think you're supposed to wait
I
until
don't
you get to a certain
care.
point.
I'm
and then you
scared.
do it.
I don't want to be falling. Free falling.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who's
I've never
that?
been
Who does that?
Tom Petty.
Because I'm free falling.
That's
This is
Tom
a great
Petty.
podcast
Fraser's
to
doing a
sing
lot
today.
of.
I
Yeah.
haven't sang once in this podcast, but today I'm doing it.
Yeah, no.
Listen, I love to sing. Let's let loose. there was one on the way back for Canada once where I took some oxys before I didn't know what they'd done, and I didn't realise it was like it'll turn your body to mush but keep your mind really awake.
Oh, is that what
really?
happened?
Yeah, and I sat between two old ladies and then sat down and kicked in. I was like, oh no. For like 8 hours just going, oh fucking hell.
my God.
I can't move. I'm so
Shit.
uncomfortable and I'm so aware of it.
Oh,
Fucking
God.
hell.
That
my
is so
God.
good. I thought they were meant to be good.
Not on a plane journey apparently.
I
Not
guess
on
if you were like
planes
lying
on a
If you
down
are
and somewhere
comfortable, yeah,
that'd be
yeah,
a
yeah.
but yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's mad.
Wow.
No, it was very fun though. It was very fun. Me and another comedian got taken out by another weird guy to Canada, and like the first thing he done day one, we get to this like airport restaurant, and he was like talking to us, and he took there was like 4 place settings at this table in this restaurant, and he took the fork out of the one that nobody was using, scratched his back with it, and then put it back in the place setting, and I was like,
Dirty.
oh,
That's rotten.
why would you do that?
Oh, but that could have happened at every restaurant you've ever been to.
Yeah.
How could you ever use a fork again?
I might
I
have
know.
to start bringing my own cutlery.
It was disgusting,
Who
man.
owns a fork or doing your forks when you're not home?
It was
That's terrifying.
it was really
Oh,
bad.
is this person famous?
No.
Oh.
Was that the guy that brought you out?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. He was a Scottish comic.
Oh. Was it were you
Well,
brought
ask you
out
after.
as Scottish comedians for like a Scottish show? Or was it just like
it fucking sucked? Yeah. It was when I was doing a character called Rosco McClelland. So it was real early days, and I'm doing this like avant-garde, deadpan skeleton character telling scary shaggy dog stories. And then I'm doing gigs in like the Rangers and Celtic expat clubs. And everybody's like fucking 80 plus, and they're just like, we don't want to hear about this, son. We want to hear about how the Shawhead flyover is, you know. And I'm like, I don't dare it else. This is what I do.
God.
Just dying in my arse.
Ugh.
It's terrible.
Did you when you first started doing stand-up, was it character stuff that started you off? Like,
No, I just started doing just regular stuff, and then I just sort of, I'd seen some things and I was like, oh, you can sort of do whatever you want. Like nobody's telling me what to do. And I had all this stuff like I used to tell those stories to one of my mates at like 2 a.m. just to fucking wind them up. Just go, oh, here, I didn't tell you about this. And then tell them this shaggy dog story, be like, fuck you, man. And I just realised I could just say them, but I needed a vessel for it.
Yeah,
And I was
right,
like,
yeah.
well, they're like scary in nature. So
you needed to be a
do
skeleton.
a skeleton,
Yeah.
aye. Rosco McClelland.
That's quite good.
where it came from.
Writes itself, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
Would you
yeah.
ever bring that character back?
I've thought about it, you know, when I was like, I don't have any fucking new stuff for the Fringe. Yeah.
That would be. I think it'd be good.
Think about it every fucking year. And I go, just do a Rosco McClelland show. Fuck it. Easy peasy. You've already got 15 to 20 minutes of it.
Yeah. Every year
We'll see
you're
what
more
happens.
and more competent as a stage performer. So surely it'd be better than when you first did it.
Yeah. And you know what? It's way easier just going, all right. And just not moving and not putting any inflection in. It's so much easier.
I'd come.
Yeah, same. That would be so fun.
Did you when you first started doing stand-up, did you come up through the stand at all? Did you do the red raws and all that kind of stuff? And
Right here on this stage.
Wow.
was
Do you
my
remember doing your
very
first Red Raw?
show? Yeah, I do, yeah.
Do you want to tell us about it?
It was largely shite. Apart from, I just had I had a story, and did you know? To this day, I think it's really funny. I got a couple of good laughs, and then those 2 laughs were like enough for me to go, "Fuck the adrenaline! I love it."
Nice.
But there was a story about how I was at Blantyre train station, and a girl that I knew was obviously steaming, standing on like the kind of the stair platform that goes up over the tracks, and I was looking at her like, I think that's Kat that I know. And then she was like, what are you fucking looking at? And I was like, Kat, it's me, it's Roscoe. She was like, oh, Roscoe, come quick, help my sister. And I was like, oh no, what's wrong? And then she was like, she's been kicked in the fanny. And you know, the Red Raw audience didn't think it was that funny, but I still to this day think it's really funny, because I thought, oh, something's seriously wrong here.
Yeah.
Oh no, our sister's been kicked in the fanny. And
What was the expectation?
And was she there,
What
but
were
you
you-
couldn't see her because she was like on the floor or something?
yeah, she was on the other side of the track, so I
okay.
didn't realise. Do you know what the insane thing is as well? I had to help someone. And listen, I don't have a fanny, right? So I don't know how sore it is to get kicked in the fanny, but I don't think you should be acting like you've been stabbed when you've been kicked in the fanny. Do you know what I mean? I had
Also,
to,
what are you supposed to do?
yeah, I had to physically
what was-
bundle a kind of walking, curled up woman into my car and drive her up the road
Oh,
and
right.
go,
It was that bad.
well, I was like, she's fucking at it here, right? She's at it here. If anything, listen, I have touched a clitoris before, right?
Oh.
Yeah, thank you.
Exclusive.
Yeah, not a virgin. And if anything, it seems to be a pleasurable experience for them. So getting booted in one, it can't be that bad.
Maybe she needed the help because she just didn't know what to do. She was like, I can't walk because this
Because
is...
she was like,
Yeah.
Experiencing the
in
ultimate pleasure.
Yeah,
so much.
she came so hard, she entered a catatonic state of pleasure. Do you know what? Now you pull it. Now I've got an end for that. Right?
Bring it
Get me back here 10 years ago. I'm ready to rock this joint, man. I actually might fucking do that. Because a bit, yeah. It's good. You know, it's because sometimes a joke's never finished. You know, I finally found, albeit a shite punchline, but literally something I done 6 years ago. I finally found the fucking end punchline for it, like at the weekend there, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that.
That's so good.
It's
But then maybe that's just that, you know, an artwork is never truly finished.
Yeah.
Just
Apart
keep-
from
apart
the
from
weekend
now
there,
it
that
is.
bit is done. That bit is done. Nothing else can go in it. It's,
Oh my god, I'm excited for you to bring that back.
yeah, this helped my sister. She's been kicked in the fanny. There's just something beautifully poetic about that combination of words. I just wasn't expecting it.
Neither was she by the sounds of things.
Yeah, that's so funny. Do you have a favourite joke you've or favourite story you tell?
It's always the newest one. I think because I'm the least sick of it.
Yeah.
I've got a real cool new bit, and you know what? I'm just going to fucking say it. It's literally just about how I hate the tops of bottles of water being attached to the bottles.
Yeah.
I've been working on this recently, and I fucking hate it. I'm so sick of it. And it's about how like the French wouldn't put up with it. One minor inconvenience in France, 5 days of rain. And what I'm trying to say is, if I ever met the cunt who decided the tops of bottles would stay attached to the bottle, I'd be doing it the French way and taking them straight to the guillotine, right? But I would stop the blade just before it went all the way through, so their head was still a wee bit attached to their body. And that's been getting applause breaks recently. But I think they can feel my emotions running through it.
I got a carton of juice yesterday, and it had the lid attached to it. So I put the lid up so that when I pour the juice it would come out, but as I was pouring it the lid slid down, so all the juice was pouring into the lid.
No,
you know, open all over the place.
Do you know what? I'm fucking sick. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being alive, if that's what we're having to deal with. I used to enjoy living up until about 5 months ago when they changed that. And now it's
Also,
all
what
downhill.
is it? See, on a plastic bottle, maybe all that plastic can be recycled the same, but there's different types of plastic. Surely they have to be separated.
But this is the thing, right? This is what they're doing. They're trying to pretend that it's to save wee turtles and all that. It's fucking no. They're only doing it so instead of them giving you 2 units to recycle, now they're technically considered to give you 1 unit, so they're only saving fucking money for themselves. They're bastards, right? It's fuck all to do with
But
turtles.
also, yeah, most of the stuff that you put in the recycling bin gets burnt.
Yeah.
You're exposing a lot of conspiracies today.
I'm a conspiracy theory guy now.
That's good. I like it.
Are you quite tinfoil hat in that? Like, do you go
No,
too into it
do you know
or
what?
just like it?
I've been awoken by that guy who shot that
Yes.
CEO,
Yeah.
and I'm like, let's fucking get them,
Yes.
man.
Yeah. I think
Let's
everybody's
get
been
the
awoken.
I know, it's really
It's
fun.
crazy.
It's really
like
cool.
all these people who would never have been interested in that kind of thing previously, like mums on Facebook in America, have been like, yeah, fuck that guy.
Should I say that the stand does not condone shooting CEOs of companies?
Yes.
I mean, historically,
We
we don't
necessarily.
we don't condemn, but we definitely don't condone.
I don't think we condone guns, generally speaking.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
famously.
Well,
look
yeah.
at if you're watching the podcast, Dave's gun is gone. Well, that's
Yeah.
not strictly true. If you look just behind Roscoe's head, this is only for the people watching. There is still a little memento of the old cowboy
homage.
there.
That's really cool. I
In
like
each of the venues, the Dave Cowboy is slightly different. He's got a different pose.
Yeah.
So in here, he's kind of doing like the sort of slightly shrugging
Shrug.
shoulders juggling thing. He's doing a much bigger shrug in Edinburgh. He's got the much higher like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And in
Yeah.
Newcastle, he's got a camp hand.
one hand. Like,
Oh, does he?
He's got like one hand like this in
Oh.
Newcastle, but also his badge is different as well in each of them. So it's kind of interesting.
also, did you know that the body in this version is Mac's
It's
daughter
actually yeah. I've seen the photographs that
Wow.
it's based on.
That's crazy.
with Dave's head. That's fucking crazy.
You never think about whose body's on whose head on a
Yeah, you
painting, do you?
don't. You don't.
Do you know?
It's a Frankenstein.
I really liked when I went to New York City.
New York.
Seen all the Picasso drawings and stuff like that, and let me tell you, that guy's shite at drawing bodies, man.
But wasn't that the thing that he was really, really good, and then he got bored of being good, so he went. kind
But
of
that's
shit.
I think that's important. I think it's a really important part of this because when people like do art and there's like that's crap. Anyone could do that. The thing that makes it special is that if you can see that what else they could have done, and that makes it a choice. Like for example, if I did something rubbish, that's the best I can achieve, so it's not special. Whereas if I was capable of doing something incredible, but I choose to do something else, that's what makes it art because it's a choice that you've made because you had.
But if you're only presented with the image, how do you know?
Well, all art is nonsense, but like, I mean, it is. But that's
okay. Yeah, no, that's a fair theory.
Well, I'm making an executive choice to have my Fringe show next year not be as good as this year's.
But it's a choice.
That's
why it's good.
Yeah, I'm choosing it right now.
And
Not because I'm
therefore,
struggling to write material.
It should get 5 stars from every review and win awards, multiple awards.
It should. It won't. It won't. It's basically going. Right now, it seems like it's going to be old man yells at cloud. I had an idea last night for something, and I was like, I should talk about that, but then I've forgotten about it.
Yeah, how often does that happen to you?
All the fucking
and
time.
Do you have like a method of remembering things? Like if you came up with something in the middle of the night, would you ever like get up and write it down, on your phone or something?
I was speaking to, I don't know if you're aware of Scroobius Pip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was doing Scroobius Pips. We're good friends. I'm doing Scroobs. I call him Scrooby. Scrooby Doo, me and my pal Peppy Longstocking. I was doing his podcast, and it turned out we had the same sort of way for doing stuff. Mostly. I just think of stuff in the car when I'm driving.
Okay.
And I don't, if I remember it, it was good enough, and if I don't, then it was fucking. It was probably shit. Worth thinking about.
That's good. Yeah.
Apparently, Tom Stade does.
He's like the biggest feature of this podcast. He's not been on.
Friend of the pod, friend of us. But he records himself in the car.
Oh my
and
God,
he
I'd
constantly
love
is
to hear
doing stuff where he just says, if he thinks of something, he's just speaking out loud or thinking.
Can you do an impression of what that might be like?
Oh my God! Oh, you know the thing about tea-based services. It's so good. It's a farm shop, but I'm not seeing any cows. I want to buy a cow. I want to come off the motorway and buy a cow.
Here, this could be your friend show.
Yeah. Rosco McClelland does Tom Stade
a million tickets for that. Fun story about Tom Stade. He was on Red Raw last night. He came in and did a quick 5 minute.
Really?
10 minute,
Yeah.
Well, he was just trying out some new material, which is great. It was some solid stuff there. It's always great to get Tom in. It's great when Red Raw has people who are more established acts come in to
Doing
use it and
five.
trying out stuff.
Yeah.
It's an exciting.
But he came in and he arrived at the front door. So the show was already on, and he's like, "Hey, Fraser!" And I was like, "Yeah, go and chat." He's like, he had a suitcase with him, like a big fucking suitcase, like a really big one. He's like, Trudy, who's Tom's partner, had accidentally ordered t-shirts for his current tour, Risky Business, but had spelt business wrong on the t-shirt.
Amazing.
So it now says Risky Business. I was like, I can't sell these. So what he did was he basically just laid them out on the bench out in the corridor, and he came on stage at the end of his show. He was like, if you want a t-shirt, just go get some. And in like 2 minutes, they were all gone. The entire audience were all wearing Tom Stade t-shirts.
So
all the staff were wearing them. Mary Lane was hosting. She came on wearing a Tom Stade t-shirt.
That's so
it was
funny,
fantastic.
Man. Risky business.
Hey, which is what you should call your Tom Stade show.
Hey, what's up with this whiskey business? It's crazy.
The Stand Comedy Club podcast is proudly sponsored by West Brewery.
I just want to ask you about, given that this is a Stand podcast, like, do you have any particular kind of memories or fond memories of?
Yeah, no. Every time I've been on stage here has been really fucking good. So
people keep saying that.
Yeah,
But it's also nice to see, particularly people behind the bar. We get to see comedy quite a lot. So anytime you're on, there's like a nice handful of comics, and you're definitely one of them where the bar staff are like, yes. Yeah.
Thank God for that. I can honestly, do you know, over the years, meeting people who have just started here at the Stand and seeing their faces full of glee, and I get to come in and go, you're going to fucking hate comedy. You're going to fucking hate comedy in about 3 months. You're going to be sick of fucking pullback and reveals and setups and punchlines. Welcome in my fucking world.
Yeah. The hardest I've ever seen Scott laugh was something that you said that took him so by surprise that it was like I didn't even realize he was standing behind me, and he he giggled, and I'd never heard him giggle before in my life. It was something about you. I can't remember what it said, but it was something about like, yeah, I fuck puss, like that.
Yeah, that sounds funny. That does sound funny. Wow, I can't believe I made Scott giggle. That's such an honour.
It was a real. It was. I think he. I think he went into the cellar after it because he was like, I just need to be on my own.
Wow. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And he does,
so
you know,
funny.
he does laugh.
From time to time, Scott has been known to laugh,
that really took me by surprise. I'd never heard that noise come out.
I got him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was, do you know what I think it was? It was maybe like an LGBT night that we had here.
Yeah,
you were
that
like
was brilliant. Yeah.
token straight guy.
That
Wait,
was
that's
so
happened
cool.
to you. You were the
You're
token
often the token
man
guy.
on
I'm
the
a guy
Material
who
Girl.
talks. 420 Blaze, Sky for the real ones. I loved that. That was really cool. It was just the way it worked. It wasn't even especially like a kind of allies night or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? It was. I think it was just the way it worked out, the way it was booked. It was like Susie McCabe, Scott Agnew, Paul Black, Kim Blythe, and I was just like,
that's an unreal lineup.
yeah, I was just like, now I know how it feels to be a minority. Do you know what? Don't know what you're mourning about. It doesn't feel so bad. Having a good time here. Right?
I thought It was also, I think it also helped because Susie set it up to be like, yous are going to be in for a treat because the best thing about it is just like, no one knows what's about to happen, and like set up just to be like,
I love when Susie does that for me all the time, and I hear it and I'm like, I've got carte blanche to say whatever the fuck I want at this
which
point.
is why it like proper. I think that was the first thing you said.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was a good day to be working.
I got was that a fundraiser? Was that when I got some I got like bad feedback after that from someone.
That was What?
That was so good. And do you know that way I was like, don't back down.
I remember this gig. It's all coming back to me.
What was the
Double
bad
down.
feedback?
So
You can say if you want, we can cut it if you're not happy.
Oh no, I'll fucking say it. Right?
Actually, I remember because I
I'll
came
say
backstage and told you, went, all right, I'm going to speak to her. And you were like, I need to fight her in the car park.
Yeah.
She did come up to you in the car
She
park,
did,
didn't she?
yeah, and I was like, "Fucking bold move." I'm no backing down here, right? Because sometimes I'd be like, "Oh, listen, I'm really sorry," but I was like, "No, I've done fuck all wrong." Basically, she'd sort of misconstrued. I do this joke all the fucking time where I say like, "Oh, I used to be a plumber." Do you know what I mean? Like, and now I'm doing this. I could be at home with money instead of doing the arts, right? And because it was a charity gig, she came up at the end and in the car park she was like, my parents are in Lebanon right now, and I was sort of thinking, well, you're no. That's just a wee joke. I'm the people of Lebanon are in my thoughts. And no, she was just going like, "Oh, we don't need you white knight saviour to be here making money for the charity." And I was also sort of thinking, well, it seems like you do, because I was booked for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm happy to be here and do like charity gigs. Honestly, you just. I done a joke about how in general I could be at home being a plumber with money
And
instead
not
of
a
doing the
comedian,
arts.
rather
Yeah.
than-
But she just wouldn't let it go, and I was like, do you know what? I'm no fucking backing down here. And I was just like, I'm not saying sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not saying sorry.
I remember basically when I spoke to her as well, I think the issue in that situation is that I don't know, maybe the emotions were just too high for her, but it was like you just don't seem to understand comedy. Like, you understand that maybe they'll say things on stage that they don't mean.
Was she?
and
So
that's
she
actually
was
part of the
thinking you
joke.
were saying, "I don't need to be here tonight,"
Yeah.
rather than in general, "I don't need to be a comedian."
But also, it's a joke about how the fact that like the arts, you make no money in the arts. It's essentially what's all about.
Yeah.
But the misunderstanding of that, like,
and also,
Yeah.
you presumably weren't getting paid for that gig, right?
Yeah, no.
So,
didn't
like,
even ask.
so, like-
I was like,
Yeah.
it's a charity gig. I was like, well, of course I'm not going to take any money out of it.
But she also, I think, said something about the fact that she was like, because you're you're a straight white man, so you don't know what struggle is.
Yeah.
And the way that she said it was, you were like, oh, so you know my whole life. That's great. Good for you.
Yeah, she was saying these things, and I'm sort of like, I don't think you know the full things. I'm like, I've never been in a war, but I've had some. I've been on a plane full of oxys. I've had some bad moments. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough.
She clearly hadn't seen sudden death.
She hadn't seen sudden death. The almost hit Fringe show from 2024. The first year that I done it, like the last show they run, I went into the toilet, the kind of main toilets just before the show, and someone had done a shite so bad that I had to run out the toilet. Bear in mind, I was a plumber. I've smelled some stuff, right? If anything, my kind of auditory senses are deadened, but it was so bad I had to run out without doing my trousers up. I was like, I was going to be sick. It was so...
Wait, while you were in there, somebody done it? Or like...
I went in there because I needed to piss, and then I was like pissing like, oh my God, I'm going to be sick here. It was so fucking bad.
Insane.
I've never smelt or felt a shite like that.
Felt?
Yeah, I could feel it. It was encompassing my very being.
Wow.
And I had to run out, and then I'd done the show, or I was like 10 minutes into the show, and I was like, by the way, did anybody go into the toilet before? And people were like, yes. I'm like, how bad was that shite?
Do you think it was someone in your audience, or was
no?
What show was on at the same time as you?
It was there before. It was there before I got in, and I'm there before my show and my audience turned up. So it was like a pre.
And it lingered then.
Oh, it was more than lingering. It was.
Damn.
It was
fucking,
squatting. Aye,
it was
squatting.
Who was before you then?
I don't know. Probably Mark Nelson or something like that. Fucking
I think
big arse, big honking shites, man.
There's and sorry to talk about rival podcasts, but there's a podcast called Who Shat on the Floor at My Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
I've listened to it. I was disappointed with the ending. Was my personal feeling.
I've heard it's good.
Great concept though. I loved it.
We should do that. Who shat the hive
shat
toilet?
Do you remember what date it was?
No, but I've got a theory about why Daz takes so long in the toilet. To like, a dad would classically go in with a newspaper and all that, and I think it's because they like to take ages to do big shites because they love the feeling of like being shagged for the inside out. That's my theory about that. No, nobody expects that, but when I say it, I see some people like, don't talk about my secrets.
That is, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I'm not a dad or big shites. Fraser?
Having had a willy up my bum on more than one occasion, I don't know how much it compares to that big shite.
Well,
I don't take my time over a poo, so
no, neither do I. I think it's weird if you do.
It's the Daz, you know what I mean?
I think
the
for me
Daz
it's not
sitting in
a
there for
novelty
ages.
for me. I think that's the difference.
Yeah. Right.
I just think they like getting shagged for the inside out.
I'm not ashamed of it. Do you know what I mean? That's the
Feeling
difference.
it.
Whereas these men are ashamed. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's why they go in the toilet and take
Yeah.
so long. Do you know what I mean? They're edging themselves in the toilet.
Totally.
Just fucking reading the Financial Times. Do you know what? I've not read the Daily Star for ages, but I need to get back into that. What a fucking news! I saw a thing that the Daily Star were the only newspaper who'd fucking went on the right side of history recently about something. I was like, fucking go on yourself,
About
Daily
what?
Star, man. I can't remember. It was some like topic where you're like everyone's just like, oh no, Israel are fine.
Oh, right, and they were
it was
actually
something
like,
like
oh,
that,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
Daily Star were like, no, this is really fucked up, and I'm
Yeah.
like, good for you.
Do they still do page 3? Is that still a thing they've got? Is that
I
allowed?
think that'll never die for them. They're like, we know
So do you
our
reckon
target
dads are
audience.
just sitting reading page 3, taking the big poo, pretending that the page 3 girls are basically
Shag them up there.
Yeah, from the inside
From the
out.
inside out.
Yeah,
Inside out.
the important bit's the inside out. That's
sure. Sure, that's the important thing.
that's the main thing.
Cool.
I actually don't know what to say.
I heard he's aware of Lemmy.
Heard of him.
He was on his Twitch channel the other day, which I also have one, and he was talking about how he had an impacted shite up his ass. Yeah.
Recently?
Yeah, this is like as of 2 days ago. And he was saying he was shiting normal shites were going past it.
No.
He was like shiting past it and coming out. Yeah.
So
What does
how
that
does he know that he had if the shites are going past it? How does he know that there's anything?
He had a general feeling of something being in there, and he's like, so I guess he might have to get a pair of marigolds and get in about it and claw it out. But then there was an update as of yesterday. Turns out just piles. So. And that's the kind of stuff that's happening on Scottish Twitch.
Yeah.
He's a fucking genius, that guy.
Yeah.
He's honestly a genius. I remember like watching his show and when it first came out and being like, oh, I didn't know we were allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know Scottish people were allowed to be like this. I thought we'd to be like, hurdy-gurdy.
Yeah.
You fell over, you bubba. Oh, no.
But he's
Is Farrah still
like
game?
so
That's good. I just thought that was our only thing.
yeah, he's like surreal and
Yeah.
like allows himself to be weird, and it's
Yeah.
so class.
He's fucking class.
Yeah.
He's a genius, man.
He's obviously doing fine by just doing Twitch, but I wish he would
Yeah.
do more again.
Well, I guess he doesn't want to do anything else.
It's
does he?
fine, isn't it?
Likes
But-
being an old fucking man that sits in the house.
Yeah.
He spoke about it. He said the reason that he likes doing what he does now is because he has full autonomy. He
Yeah.
has full
Yeah.
creative
It totally
control. He
makes
can do
sense, yeah.
whatever he wants. He doesn't have
Yeah.
an exec telling him that he can't do his TV show the way he wants to do it, or an editor telling him he can't write
Yeah.
his book the way he wants to write it. He's just like, do what I like.
Yeah,
Aye.
it's totally
Like it.
fair.
I've had
I get
wee
that.
things that like you make it and then someone else, just because someone else like takes over a wee bit of it and then they fuck it up and I'm like, that would have been better if I had just done the whole thing.
Yeah.
There was a thing, I done a fucking wee video sketch for BBC short stuff years ago, and it was like my dog's really good at playing football, so she was like running about with the ball, and I was like, of course there's all been other dog football players over the years, like Lorenzo Amawufo and Bobo Barkey and Christian Daly, she's got curly hair like that. But it was Lorenzo Amawufo, right? And then when it got captioned, when the captions get put on it, I was like some fucking intern at the BBC has clear they've went, what is he saying there? Is he saying and then they changed it to Amalupo, and I'm like, really? Like lupo as in
Like wolf.
lupo, like the Latin for fucking dog? You fucking cunt. The joke was simpler and funnier, and then you've fucked it up because you think you've went to fucking university. So fuck off. And just since then, I was like, no. There was another fucking thing I done as well. I couldn't believe this was the first thing that I done. It was supposed to be, am I looking at you? Am I looking at something else? They wanted a video sketch version of that, which doesn't work. And it was like, I'm looking at something else, and then it was supposed to be like looking at something else and just like funny wee images. So I sent them like two dogs and a fucking mad thing. I think it was like a house with a ghost in it or something like that, and they were like, people really like dogs, can we just do it all dogs? And I'm like, well, that doesn't,
There's
it's
nothing
like
about
really
dogs.
three, yeah.
It's like
So I gave them I was like, here's 2 dogs and a cat. And then literally an email came back, was like, we really like the cat, can we do it all cats? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me on?
Oh my god.
So I gave them 2 cats and a llama that was fucking a pig. And they went, cool, that's good. And I was like, I didn't want that. I was fucking being, oh my god.
That is so funny.
I can't believe I got an image of a llama just railing a pig
How
out on
did
the
you
BBC.
find that? Where's that image from? Why does that image exist?
My hard drives. My personal hard drives.
King shame on you.
No, it's fine to kink shaming that, but you couldn't believe what a day at fucking Shetler Old Country Park that was.
We usually ask that. Obviously, this is talking about the stand and comedy and stuff. So, what's the kind of who are some people, or what kind of comedy makes you really laugh? Is it the same stuff that you do, or do you like different things?
I'll I mean, I laugh so much when things go wrong. It's my favourite fucking thing. See someone like just having a hard time. I love it. I also like when an audience doesn't sort of get something, but I know I'm like, oh, there was who is it? Fucking Mark Silcox.
Yes.
One time I watched him doing like a 10 at Red Raw here, and for 2 minutes he's just like out there, just fucking barely even treading water, just talking, and the audience are sitting there in silence, going, "What?" And I was sitting on the back there like, just you wait, you cunts, man. He's going to turn this screw. He's going to fucking pull all your pants down, spank your little bare buttocks, man. And he did, but 2.5 minutes in, he pulled a line out and the whole place fucking erupted.
Yeah.
But that was amazing, man.
Nice.
Or just watching some mad cunt that's lost it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's
Yeah.
the best, man. Just seeing some cunt up there like, fuck.
Yeah.
There was a guy who used to be called, I'm going to assume he's dead now. He was called Old Tam. Anyone remember Old Tam? Just a guy called Old Tam. He would come out and just be like an old guy, and I was like, I fucking love this, man.
Oh man,
I love this cunt, man. Just get ladies and gentlemen, Old Tam. Some old guy comes out and goes, what are you fucking talking about here? I love this, man. I need to see if Old Tam's still alive, man, because he was old.
we'll find it.
Wasn't he lying?
It
not
does
just a
seem
clever
that
name.
everybody who is like involved in comedy, working or doing, prefers stuff that's just like weird as fuck.
Yeah.
Or like not
Batshit stuff.
not going the way that it should be.
Nobody
going.
likes to see anyone who's good
Yeah.
and doing well.
It's kind of it's like boring.
Yeah, grow up.
Some people also like my mum doesn't like stand-up comedy. She can't believe like this is my like obviously I run a comedy club. She's like, I don't want to come. I was like, you get free tickets to anything. Mum's like, no. But I've walked in on her absolutely pissing herself laughing before. Like cannot breathe for laughing, and she's just got on YouTube and looked up people falling over.
That's the best.
It's her favorite thing in the world.
Have you seen the video where there's a lady carrying jugs of milk and then there's a wee toot she goes and it flies away?
It was on Vine. That was my
If I
favorite
show that
video.
to my wife, she is gone for like
That's so
10
funny.
minutes.
So good.
Oh my god, I just remembered as well, you and Scott Agnew were on this stage this year doing live commentary of the Euros final.
Yeah.
And it was England versus Spain.
It was not as it was. Do you know what? We fucking got away with it,
Yeah.
and I thought this could be a pageant. But me and Agnew, it was lovely. I had a real good time.
It was a lovely atmosphere.
I kind of
glad
I
that
wish
worked.
I'd been here.
It
for
was
that.
so fun. It was like everyone, not one person was rooting for England, and it was just lovely.
Yeah.
It was really lovely.
We just sort of got away with it. Do you know what I mean? I remember thinking, "Fuck, this is way much harder than anything." I'm like, this is just riffing for 2 45-minute things about. It's not even like an improv thing where you can build this. You're just riffing about an
It's
actual
something
thing
that's
that's
happening.
happening.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Were you trying to like know who the players were or anything, or are you just like?
Do you know what? I can't remember. I think I just went into a strange mode of like, it's like half hosting a show, but also half just like watching it because I'm like, I would like to see how this pans out. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, it was the final. Fucking hell, it was weird. I've still not invoiced or paid Scott Agnew for that, so I should probably do that.
It was funny that I mean, this is 100% just me talking about great I am for a second. It was my idea to do that because what we'd had was a problem of it was during the Euros because Scotland were in the Euros this year. Every time Scotland were playing, this place was just dead.
It was
No
crazy.
one-
On a Friday night, which is usually sold out, 200 people, there was 30 people
It was
on
crazy.
that first Friday.
And so like I got onto
Crazy.
Eva Booker and I was like, listen, we just either should close or we should do something to
Yeah.
like get on board with this. And by the time we got our ducks in a row, the only thing that was left was the final.
Yeah.
And I was glad it worked. I'm glad it went well, and it was a really nice atmosphere, and people seemed to have a really good time. And it was funny, but it was also a good way of watching the football. It was like an alternative way to enjoy it. Like I think it's something we could try again in the future. Like
It was good. Do you know what I really liked about how I would say there was a gender balance in terms of women who were in the audience, and I was like, well, this is cool. So I'm like, so what, do you want to watch this somewhere
where it's a bit safer.
in a kind of community thing where there's no fucking some stupid cunt screaming?
Yeah.
Just you.
Just me. I am bound to the stage. There was when I went to the first Euros game, I went to King Tut's to watch it.
Oh, wow.
And it was almost like they had found the only fucking freaks left in Scotland and bust them in especially to King Tut's.
Oh my god.
Was it like in the gig space or in the bar?
Yeah, in the gig space, yeah. It was not good.
Fuck.
Like 10 minutes in, a guy had already had his top off and been kicked out, and he was sitting outside crying. But on I was like, I remember when I couldn't handle cocaine. Fucking idiot, man.
Wow.
He was so annoying. And then I was actually happened to be at that Foo Fighters gig. Not really my usual thing. Do you know what I mean? But free tickets. And that was about like a month later or something like that. And I saw that cunt, and he was with his partner, and I really wanted to go up and go, did you have a bad time? Did you? Oh, you know how you were fucking shouting and fucking annoying everybody for just being a fucking wank? Did you have a bad time there, aye? You big fucking tall fucking cunt, you.
Do you? How do you? This is relevant to what you're saying. See how with like hecklers and that.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it? Or
I don't get it enough to enjoy it. I'm relatively left alone, but I do enjoy it. Yeah.
Like when you do
when
get
I
it.
get one, I'm like, fucking yes, let's fucking start twisting minds and nipples here, man.
minds and nipples.
Yeah, both. Yeah, I'm going in around there.
What's your kind of style at combating it? Are you like quick put down, or are you dragging it out proper?
I like to drag it out.
Yeah,
I like to make it real awkward, man.
It's great.
Yeah.
Quite often somebody shouts something that doesn't make any sense anyway, so it's like you can't like what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Be like, what the fuck are you saying?
I just don't get heckled a lot. Really, there was a time where I was down in like York or something like that, and some guy did heckle, and this was like early on, and when I realised that I was like, oh, like the accent down here is just like a weapon. Do you know what I mean? I was hosting some show and a guy said something. I was like, fucking shut it. And he was like, no problems, man. And I was like, oh. I was like, that felt like a friendly retort. Yeah. You were like, oh shit. Yeah. Okay, cool. I just don't get it a lot, which is
That's good.
sad.
No, it's good. But it's good though. It means that you're doing a good job.
Yeah, but I really enjoy it. I love the combative element of it.
Do you get it more in certain places? Like, is like a certain venue type place more likely to get more hecklers?
Aye. So it's
you
more.
decided what you can and can't say.
You're suddenly shy.
I'm like, it
Come on, Roscoe,
depends,
tell us.
There's because you'll get like shows that are like, well, our client base is like their Groupon deals. Sure. So they've came in. They're like, well, we're going to the comedy, and you're like, right, and they're like, well, we've got our preconceived notion of what comedy is. It's we turn up and the guy fucking slags us off and we get full of coke and we shout back at him and all that. So you would maybe get it there, but then again, I really don't get it. I'm not leaving any space for them to get in. I'm fucking, here's my stuff, shut the fuck up, I've got some things to tell you, it'll be funny if you pay attention.
There was a heckler that was like, someone pretty much just started picking a fight with the host, because I think the audience member was talking and he was told to shut up, and then he was like, nah, and then just kept going. But then right at the back of the room there was these two girls that had been drinking rosé wine the whole night, very quiet, demure, and you just heard shout from the back, shut up you wank. It was like totally it was like they were barely even speaking to each other. They were like seemed very shy, and they were just bored of the fact that this guy was like interrupting the show. And I was
beautiful.
like, love you. I think people were buying them drinks in that. After.
I like it when the crowd turns on an
When it turns on
individual.
It's good. You've talked a little bit about other comedians, particularly Christopher McCarthy Boyd, CMB, as apparently he doesn't like to be called, so stick with
fucking
that.
rat cunt. Yeah.
Presumably he's a guy you became friends with through the job, like through comedy. Have you sort of found that you've got a lot more pals that are comedians, or do you try and keep those two worlds separate, or like how's that work?
I don't. Sometimes you just meet other comedians and you're like, oh, you seem fine, and then sometimes you meet other people and like, nah, you know what's fucking going on here, and then you're just like friends with them. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
I think there's just a good group of people in Scotland.
There is.
And like, but sometimes I go down to England and I'm like, oh, surprised. I'm like, oh, you're fucking, they're sound.
Sure.
You know. But then if you're a wank, word travels fast. I'll say
That's
that.
interesting. It does. There is like what's the word? The connections between all the comedians.
Network.
It's like very network. Yeah, it's a very like solid network.
Yeah.
Word travels real fast.
Particularly if you're not nice to venue staff.
Yeah.
We know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That word travels. Who was it? There was someone who was
It's probably
like a
best
real.
if you don't remember.
Yeah.
No, I actually do, but it was a free fringe thing, and I'm like,
okay.
all right, you're a champion of the working class, are you? Turns out you're a fucking wank. Okay, fair enough.
We always try and finish up somewhat. We'll do two things. We'll let you plug something, but then we'll do that after you answer this question from Molly.
Oh yeah.
Molly's going to ask you a question, which in fairness usually is like and there for a random thing, but it feels like this might be the most planned part of this entire
Yeah,
episode.
no, I need to. I would kind of think of something on the spot, and it wouldn't feel as random as this thing. If you were, what's the biggest animal that you think you could take on successfully in a fight?
Fuck.
And kill or just
Kill.
And also
kill.
presumably unarmed, just like
Yeah, no, just you versus them.
Now this is interesting, right? Because I think I would have, a lot of people like you'd think a chimpanzee would fuck you up, but I reckon I would have like some outsider tactics.
All right.
A chimpanzee?
In the moment, you had to take a chimpanzee on. I know they like rip people's faces off and stuff like that. I know that, but what if I went for their face first? You know what I mean?
Oh, a surprise.
Maybe
old switcheroo.
Yeah, maybe the real issue with people getting their faces ripped
Is
off
they
by
don't expect
chimpanzee.
it.
Yeah, they don't. What if because the chimpanzee loses it and goes fucking mental, but I'm talking about chimpanzees sitting there docile, having a nice time, eating a banana.
don't know they're in a
I'm
fight.
in there first. I'm fucking it up, man. Right? So there you go, chimpanzee. I'm
But
fucking it up first.
there's so many animals that are bigger than a chimpanzee that are not violent that you could have picked. No,
you still want it to be a
man.
fair
like,
fight.
a,
even
like,
if
like
the-
a sheep.
A sheep is not bigger than a chimpanzee.
I think they're quite.
It's mostly wool.
A big sheep.
Yeah. Oh, so
Yeah,
true.
that's the thing.
Big sheep.
Well, I guess fighting a sheep would be like, sometimes when you have a dream where you're like punching underwater. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to hurry. You're like, it just feels like
You're not
close.
hitting anything. It's just like sinking in.
I wouldn't know. I don't actually have dreams. That's another thing.
Oh, wow.
I don't have dreams. Yeah.
Have you never ever?
Occasionally, I'll have a semblance of a dream and I'll go, "Oh fuck, I had a dream last
Do you
night."
have that? Can you picture things in your mind?
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I can or not.
That's
If
probably
you
no then.
picture a chimpanzee sitting,
Coming towards you.
yeah.
I feel like I can imagine what it would be like if a chimpanzee was coming towards me, but I can't. I don't know if I can see it or not. Beth Black once told me about it. I was telling her about this backstage here, and then she was like, "Oh, I've been looking into that. Turns out that's like the traits of a psychopath." And I was like, "What?" And it's like, "Bang, that should come on." I was like, "No, give me more." She was hosting, I was closing. I was backstage there googling like, "Can you be a nice psychopath?" It blew my whole fucking world apart for 2 minutes.
That's so.
Fucking hell. So yeah, chimpanzee, fuck it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in a fucking chokehold from behind, doesn't even know
Yeah.
I'm coming.
And ripping its face
I've
off.
got
Yeah,
it,
rip its face off.
like that, and then the face coming off. This chimpanzee's like, what's going on here? I've already, you know what I mean, I've won. Element of surprise.
Brilliant.
Knock it the
That's
fuck
good.
out.
Lottie, same question. Animal.
Sheep, I guess.
Sheep. I think you're wrong. Mole.
I would. I think mine's got. Don't. Oh God, me. I think mine is much smaller. I think I
Just,
would do.
Crush a hamster with one hand.
Oh.
Well, my first thought was maybe squirrel, but then I think you want to go a bit bigger.
Yeah, you could fuck a duck up, no bother.
What have you heard?
That Kevin Grove Park is just lined with ducks with
No,
fucking wee things
What
with their
about-
bills and all that.
Like a sloth.
They got
No.
big claws, man. I think
Yeah, there's
people-
like.
slow, I suppose.
Yeah. I think I could. I don't know.
Because, like,
Sorry.
I think it does depend if the animal knows it's a fight.
Yeah.
Because, like, if
Yeah.
a dog didn't know it was a fight, you could probably fuck it up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if it did, it would
Also, if
win.
it's a nice dog.
I don't want
Yeah.
to kill a dog.
My boyfriend said that he would do a kangaroo.
No.
Nah.
Yeah,
Wrong.
but
Wrong.
he was like, I think that I
Nah,
would
wrong.
also die, but
Go down
we
punch.
would both die. I would be able to kill
Nah.
a kangaroo.
Have you ever felt maternal instincts kicking in for anything?
What?
Have you ever felt maternal instincts kicking in for anything?
Like for an animal.
Like for an animal or like a I don't know, like a
Oh.
child anywhere or anything like that? Because the question is, do you think you could kill an XL bully that is mauling
Oh, right, I see.
a 5-year-old? This is.
Yeah, I
do you
do
think
get-
you could fucking hype up and go, I'm going to kick fuck at that giant headed dog?
Yeah, well, I can lift up a car anyway.
Well, there you go.
So, no, I could. I think I could. I do get very distressed at hearing like babies cry.
Right, so you
So
could
I probably could
rip the bollocks off a fucking XL bully called Tyson.
Yeah, yeah. I reckon I could.
Well, there you go then. XL
Yeah.
bully.
That's your answer. There you go.
Take one of them.
The XL bully, yeah, yeah. And I'll give it a head start. Have you seen that song that's like, if you ever see me fighting a grizzly bear, help the bear?
Yeah. That's cool as fuck.
Sean, do you have an answer? Yeah, animal. Swan will break your arm.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not true. Oh,
So
Jesus
no one can see
Christ.
this, but what Sean has suggested is that he would grab the swan or
Yeah.
goose's neck and then basically lift it and smash it off the ground like a sort of club thing.
Yeah.
He's an insane
Like a
animal
bommy
monster
knocker.
over there. A what
Fucking
knocker?
hell.
Oh no, I think it's gone to be one of those. It's called the bommy knocker.
A bommy knocker.
Yeah, you know those things. Oh, no, I was told recently that it's not called that. But my whole life,
A mace?
A mace. Yeah, a mace. It's like a stick with a
floppy
chain
mace.
and then
And
a
a
ball
ball.
with spikes.
A
It's
bommy
called
knocker?
A bommy knocker.
Never heard of that.
Who calls it a bommy knocker?
I think maybe people in Wales.
Okay, well, that's not
But
a thing then.
it might have been in a childhood book or something. It was called the bommy knocker or something like that. And so I've always called it a bommy knocker.
Fraser, what animal would you be able to kill?
The greatest prey of all, man.
Shut up!
Wow. That's a fucking great answer.
That's an even fight. I'm winning.
That is so cool. Oh my god.
Well, what a great question.
That's a good one. Have you got anything you want to plug?
Considering this might come out
We
like
don't know when this is going to come out,
later
so
in
you can probably aim for the
2025.
fringe if you want, but anything else.
I'd like to plug the idea that Tom Cruise every year on his birthday gets hunted. Or no, he hunts a man who looks like him in a forest somewhere, and if he catches him, he gets to fuck him. So I'd like to plug that. That's what I've heard. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Does all his own stunts. It makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Again, I'd like to plug, I guess, I don't know, just like my Instagram. Just go and look at my Instagram.
What is your Instagram?
It's Rosco McClelland, so good luck spelling it. Figure it out. It usually comes up if people type in ROSCO and the Instagram's
That's
like,
good.
oh,
Awful.
that's him. I don't want to be like Prince,
Madonna?
though.
Oh, right.
Yeah, or
We have
Madonna.
different touchstones.
Or Sia.
yeah.
Sure.
Is that her name?
Yeah. SIA. See ya.
But
MIA.
She can't see
Mia. MIA. She's fucking lost it.
yeah,
huh?
she really has.
What happened to her?
She's
She's
selling
gone
like,
all like Trumpy kind of like
She went
alt right.
oh yeah, she went real alt-right.
Yeah.
She's selling like fucking like tinfoil trousers and all that.
Yeah. she's we did I made this playlist of songs
yeah.
that because we love a karaoke here. So I made a playlist of songs that I think everyone that works at the stand would do really well. But the theme, we changed the theme each time, and the theme we did was cancelled
Oh yeah.
artists and me. So I have like a huge backlog of all of the people that
It was like R. Kelly.
well, yeah, you got your
MIA.
big, you know, your big hitters like R.
Yeah.
Kelly. There was Jerry Lee Lewis cheated on his wife with his underage cousin.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
Gracious,
God.
Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah. And Mia was on there. MIA was on there because she's an anti-vaxxer and climate change denier.
Yeah.
Oh, she's on.
Yeah, which is a bit of a different scale between, like...
Yeah, but... You know.
Shagging a child.
Yeah, but...
This is
Yeah.
essentially what Jerry Lewis did.
Well, yeah.
Gary Glitter.
Gary
Yeah.
Glitter, yeah.
Rock and Roll Christmas.
Yeah.
What a fucking tune that
Yeah.
is.
It's a shame.
GBNF.
Yeah.
All these people are actually quite good
Yeah,
musicians.
pedos make such good music. It's such a shame.
Yeah. They just know what the kids want.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Bye.
The Stand Comedy Club podcast is sponsored by West Brewery.